Hi, welcome back to Katrina's Creations. This is episode 89. This is take 3. Take 1, I recorded this whole section and realized I never clicked the button to start the video. The second one I totally messed up, and so now we're on to part 3. So hopefully I'll get it right this time. So let's get started. I have a finished object this week. I finished my Pirate Cove shawl last week. Let me show you where my stitch marker is. Here it is here. You can see the little donut. I knit, this is the longest part of the shawl, so I knit probably about half of the shawl just this past week. This is a modified Pirate Cove shawl. It is by Hillary Designs. The original pattern called for a size 9 knitting needle, which out of all the knitting needles I have, I do not have a size 9. I don't know. I have a funny, sneaky suspicion that a certain furry, four-legged little friend of mine maybe chewed it up when she was a puppy. Yeah, so I don't have a size 9. So I knitted with a size 8, so I had a lot of yarn left over. So the pattern actually would have ended right around here, and I was able to get quite a bit more in here because I was knitting with a size 8. And I did, like I said, modify this. I added this second section of eyelet stitches right here, and I did a feather and fan edge along here, which kind of gives it a wavy look. So let me roll back here and show you what it looks like. So here it is, complete. And then I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see it in a little bit more detail. This has not been blocked yet, and it is a really good size shawl. I don't know that I even am going to need to block this. It is probably about 5.5 to 6 feet. Well, yeah, I'd say it's probably close to 6 feet in width, and in length, it's probably every bit of 3 feet. So it's definitely going to fit around me this way very comfortably. As you can see, it's fitted nicely around me. I don't know that I'm going to wear it like a bib because it is so long in the front that it would hang down to my knees because I'm a short person. But anyway, this is the Pirate Cove pattern. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. Here's what it looks like. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. It's by Hillary Designs. It calls for 3 skeins of Ultra Pima cotton, which is by Cascade, but you could use any yarn you wanted to. And it would take it's a worsted, you would need worsted weight yarn in 3 different colors, 220 yards each to make the Pirate Cove. So 660 yards total, but you're going to want it in 3 colors so that it shows up all the changes. So, and I thought I had all my ends woven, apparently not. So, yeah, that's one finished project. So I'm excited about that. Then I've been working just a little bit on my Barton cardigan sleeve. I didn't get too far because I started in on that Pirate Cove and I wanted to finish it. So I was trying to work through it. And I had, of that Pirate's Cove, this is what's left. And I could have actually used this and kept knitting, but at that point I saw how large it was and thought I don't need this any bigger, so I stopped. So that's what's left over. And I'll probably put that into a washcloth or something because it is cotton. Here's my Barton cardigan sleeve. This is where I was last week. So I haven't done a whole lot. I've maybe gotten 1.5 to 2 inches. Probably about 2 inches. There you can see the stitch marker. And I've talked about the Barton cardigan. I haven't shown a picture of the book for a while. And someone did ask me a question if it was by Marley Bird. And yes, it is. This is the book that it came out of. It's called Knitting Plus. These are all knitted sweaters for plus size ladies, which would be me. Now the author of this, it says, is Lisa Schroyer, but I believe she's actually who just compiled it, because these different patterns, and it's got some gorgeous patterns in this. I mean, look at this one. It's really, really beautiful. It's got some color work in it. I don't know if it's one I would try, but it's got a lot going on with it. But let me show you what the Barton cardigan looks like. This, like I said, this pattern, this book has a lot of really pretty patterns. This one, I'll show you this. This is one I am seriously thinking of making. Except I would make it longer because this is a cropped one. But look at that detail right here in the front. If you can see it right here where my finger is. It's just really pretty, but I would definitely make it a little bit longer than that. But yeah, here's detailing of what that front looks like. So anyway, on to the Barton cardigan. This book, I don't know if it's still in print or not. I got it off of Amazon, but it is available as well on eBay, and I think it was around $5. But it is by Marlena Bird. And this is what the sweater will look like when it's completely finished. You can see the cables all around. I did modify the sleeves because it has 3/4 length sleeves and I wanted full length sleeves. Here's what the back looks like. And it is a bottom up sweater, and you will be steeking the front. So when I get to that point, I will show it and we will steek it together. So yeah, this is this book. It's called Knitting Plus. Like I said, I got it used. It's been a couple years ago, so I really don't remember what I paid for it. It looks like it was a library book. Actually from California, because it says San Mateo County Library, which I believe is in California. So that is where the Barton cardigan is coming from. Then I was working on my tote. For those of you who have not been watching, we have a tote along going on. You can knit or crochet a tote of your choice. I have 2 recommended patterns that are basically easy patterns for beginners. One in a crochet and one in a knit. This is called the Striped Market Tote Bag. These are both free patterns. And they came from Yarnspirations. Then they both use Lily Sugar and Cream. The other one is a knitted pattern, and it is called the Getting Things Done Tote. Like I said, these are both free patterns, but you can feel free to do any pattern you would like if you're interested in entering. We are running it till the end of August, till the 31st, and I will announce the winner on September 1st. To enter, you just need to be a member of the Ravelry group, Katrina's Creations, and post your finished object in the finished object thread. And I will be drawing from there. There's a chatter thread over there too if you want to just go over and talk. We've been talking a lot back and forth over there and comparing notes and advising back and forth on putting solid bases to some of our totes so that they're not floppy. So let me show you the one that I'm doing. I'm doing the crocheted version, and it is a round kind of hexagonal bag. And it calls for 4 colors. I'm doing it in 3. And I'm at the section now where I'm actually, you can see it's kind of looks like a bowl because I'm now starting up the sides. The base is done in single crochet and the sides are done in a half double crochet. So I learned a new stitch, which was the half double crochet. So it's going to be a good sized bag, I think, when it's done. And you can see the 3 colors I'm doing it in. It's going to be kind of fall colors. So, yeah, there we go. That is that project. And moving right along, talking about my next, where did I put it? Here we go. My next project, I've made a virus shawl a while back with crochet, and I had several people ask me to do a tutorial. Now I'm a beginner crocheter. I could do granny squares, things like that, but I haven't done anything really fancy. The virus shawl was my first kind of fancy shawl that I've done. Anyway, some of you actually wanted me to do a tutorial on it. So I did. I promised you I would, and so I did, and the virus shawl tutorial will be coming up on Wednesday. So be watching for it Wednesday. It should post 5 o'clock in the morning US time. So I filmed it the other day, and I want to show you what my beginner looks like. This is what I was using for the tutorial, and I'm going to show it to you before I rip it out, because I'm changing the size of my hook. I'm actually making the Virus Meets Granny Shawl. Here it is right here. It is kind of a cross between the Virus Shawl and the Granny Stripe Blanket. This is by Miss Ginty Designs. Here's the title right there, Miss Ginty Designs. It was a free pattern also on Ravelry, but you start with the beginnings of the Virus Shawl, so that's what I used for the tutorial. And here it is. And it doesn't look horrible, but I'm using the crochet hook size it calls for, which is a 3.5. I'm using Ella Rae Cozy Soft, which I have knit with numerous times. I'm finding that with this crochet hook, it's splitting the yarn a lot, and I've never had that problem with this yarn before. I also just noticed how kind of tight it looks. My other virus shawl that I did was done in cotton, and it was a lot more open, where this is kind of tight. You can see it's just not opening the stitches up as much as I would like. So I don't know if it's just using a different type of yarn, or if it's the fact that maybe I am crocheting a little tighter. I don't know. So I'm going to move up from a 3.5 to a 4.0. I have plenty of yarn, so I'm not worried about running out of it. And it's going to be in 3 colors. I did not bring the other 2 colors up, but it's this color, a maroon, and then a speckled yarn that has a maroon and black and like a gray in it as well. So that's as far as I've gotten. And like I said, look quick, because I'm going to rip it out after the podcast and start over with a little bit bigger hook. So hopefully it'll just open the pattern up a little bit more. So we have that going on. Now, I always have to have a knitting project going, and I've got the sweater, but I'm going to be doing a lot of knitting this week. I'm going to have a lot of downtime. So I've got a lot of crafting time, so I want to pick up another kind of simple pattern that I don't have to have. Actually, it's not really a simple pattern I'm going to be knitting. But anyway, let me show you what I'm working on, because I get bored if I'm working on just one project. I'm not a one project sort of person. So I bought this pattern. This is a page 4 pattern. I bought it a couple of years ago, and it's just languished. I've even got the yarn for it. So what I'm doing, it is by Barbara Benson, and if you watch Barbara Knit, she has a YouTube channel, it's called Watch Barbara Knit, that is the designer. So she's a lot of fun. If you don't watch her podcast, you should. She's a lot of fun to watch. Anyway, this is called There Is Water at the Bottom of the Ocean. It is a lacy shawl, as you can see here. And I'm going to put some beads on it. So let me show you what I'm going to do this in. I got this yarn at my local yarn store. I do not have the slip. I can't even tell you what kind of yarn it is, because the ball bands are, there's no ball band on them, but it feels like it's some type of a linen, just looking at it. And the fact that I can see some like, it's not fuzzy hair like what you would have in wool. So I'm thinking this is some linen, and it looks like a cotton linen blend. And it's silvery. So I thought with the title of it, Water at the Bottom of the Ocean, it looks like icy blue water is what it reminds me of. So as soon as I saw this yarn, and it is a fingering weight, as soon as I saw this yarn, I thought this would be perfect. So it's going to be, and it's kind of soft. It's not soft. That's what makes me think it's maybe has some linen in it. And just the way just the way it looks. It is plied, it looks like. Yeah, at first I thought it was a single, but it's actually untwisted in one spot. It's loosely plied, we'll put it that way. It's loosely plied because there's some sections that almost look like it is not plied at all until you look really, really close. So I'm doing that, and then I am putting on, did I bring the beads up? Yes. I'm putting these little silver beads on with it. I'm not sure where the beads are going to go in the pattern. I have to really kind of sit down and look at it because the pattern itself, a lot of the ones that Barbara does do call for beads in it. This is not one of them, but I just thought these would look so pretty with this. So that is going to be my next project. And I used to have the sales slip from when I bought this, and it told me what kind of yarn this was, but I'll have to ask my yarn shop owner. I'll bring it in and have her look at it. She can tell me what it is. I know it started with a K, the name of it. I can't think what it was. Anyway, we'll have to find out. But that is my next knitting project that I'm going to have going on. So now let's talk about acquisitions. Now, I had a video up earlier this week. Actually, it just went up on Thursday because my knit crate was running late. I think because of the 4th of July holiday. Usually I get it around the 9th. It didn't come in till late, and one of the subscribers that was watching it actually left a message and said she hadn't gotten hers yet either. So I think everything was running kind of behind because they normally don't get there this late. So I really thought I'd have that video for you on Tuesday, but I didn't have it until Thursday. But let me show you what I got because I was really excited about it. I got a 4th box of the artisan sock yarn. I wasn't expecting that. So that was a very pleasant surprise. And here it is. And this is pretty true to color. So it is, again, blues on my camera. This is not blue. This is actually purple. I wish it would show up true, but it is definitely, this is purple, not blue. It is about the color, it's kind of a medium blue, or medium purple, I mean. I'm trying to even think of something that would describe it, and I can't. But it is a purple. So don't look at this and think blue, think purple. So it is an odd combination. You know, you've got orange, purple, and pink, which usually all clash. But it really doesn't look bad together, and it is extremely soft. It is, this is completely hand-dyed because this is the artisan sock. So it is a hand-dyed, yarn by a yarn company. It's their base, which means the yarn it's dyed on is their base. It is called the Aiden Sock Base, which is a 75 superwash wool, 25% nylon. And here's the funny thing. It's called Vintage Barbie. That's the name of it. The yarn company is called Pictured Yarns. Here's the tag. Pictured Yarns. It's called Vintage Barbie. Now, some of us, if you go back and watch that video of the unboxing of the knit crate, and I will put a card up over here for you to click on that and it'll take you to it. If you read the comments underneath that video, if you would like a nice laugh, you should read some of the comments, because some of us got to chatting about Barbie and how we were the same age as Barbie, or Barbie was actually older than us. I was a kid in the 70s, so Barbie was probably close to 20 years old. Or 15 to 20 years old when I was a kid playing with her. And I remember an outfit that I had for Barbie that was this color. But anyway, yes, we were chatting back and forth, and I said, it's just not fair that Barbie looks better than I do, and I'm younger than she is. And I think I've determined that Barbie has had a dye job, and Barbie's had a couple of facelifts, I'm sure. She's had a few other things lifted too. I'd need a hydraulic lift, but we aren't going to go there. But anyway, Vintage Barbie, that was the sock name. So yes, but we were having fun with the Vintage Barbie jokes. So then I got my membership yarn, which is the box that I actually pay for. And this is beautiful. It's actually gorgeous. This is on their Knitology base. It is called Paws Off is the colorway. It is called Bouncy Worsted. I'm not quite sure why it's bouncy, but it's Bouncy Worsted. And it's 100% superwash merino. It is gorgeous. And again, it's not blue. I had a lot of people say, oh, the blues are gorgeous. And in the monitors, what I'm even looking at, it looks like it's blue. This looks like it is royal blue. It's not. It's almost what you call royal purple. It's a real deep, it's a deep purple. I mean, it's, again, I don't even know of a purple. All I can think is royal purple to try to describe it. But it has some greens and it has turquoises. Now, these colors are pretty true to color. But for some reason, when I film, and I've heard other podcasters have the same problems with their cameras, for some reason, purples and blues, especially purples and some teals, don't show up quite right. I've had teals I've showed to people before, or turquoise, and they show up like a different color. But this is pretty true to color. This is, although this is more turquoise. This is a turquoise in here. And here's a real deep. Right here, it looks like light blue. This is actually a real dark turquoise. And then you've got the greens, kind of a celery green. And then you've got this really deep purple. So it's really gorgeous yarn. And I have two skeins. I'm not sure what I'm going to make out of it. The pattern they send you to make it with is a cowl, I believe. Yes. They give you two different patterns that you can do. They give you a knitting and a crochet pattern. So the knitting pattern, I think this is the knitting. Yeah, the knitting pattern is this cowl. And then they give you a crochet pattern, which is yoga socks. Now, I have socks. I made this comment to somebody. I have socks with holes in the heels and the toes, but I didn't intentionally put them there. My feet poked through them. So I don't think I'm as advanced of a crocheter to do something like this at this point. And I have thought about making leg warmers before. So that might be in the future. So anyway, that's the crochet pattern. This is the knit pattern. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the knit pattern for the cowl or not. It would be pretty. I just am not sure yet. But anyway, really, really pretty yarn. So I was happy with that. Now we had a couple things I wanted to share with some of our contributors. The Tour de Fleece is going on. Now, if you're not familiar with people who use spinning wheels where they're spinning, you maybe have never heard of the Tour de Fleece. It is a spin-off, well, that, no pun intended, it's a spin-off of the Tour de France, which is running from July 7th until the 29th over in France. So spinners get together. When I say spinners, I'm talking about people who use spinning wheels, or they spin wool with a drop spindle or whatever, and they can participate individually or they can participate as a team, and they spin their wool up, or their whatever it is they're spinning, whether it's cotton or whatever kind of fiber they're spinning. And they keep track of the yardage and the weight of the yarn that they've spun. And they try to, whoever gets the most wins. So anyway, on that note, one of our podcast viewers, Fran, mentioned that she was going to be participating in the Tour de Fleece. So everybody be cheering Fran on. I don't know if she's doing it individually or if she is on a team. I'm not real sure. And she posted her pictures over on the Facebook page. So where it shows she was cleaning her fleeces and getting them ready. It looked like she was in a tent doing this. So I saw that she has 2 or 3, I think it was 3 bobbins completed at this point. And that picture I was able to take off of Facebook. So I'm going to put that right here. And then Yoka, I don't know if she's participating in the Tour de Fleece. She didn't say, but she also was preparing some wool. And she sent me an email, and I'm going to post her pictures. And she was saying that she had combed all of her wool. She had bought a carding drum, which is what you use to get all the fiber going the same direction. You can do it by hand with combs, but a carding drum is much, much easier and much faster. So she mentioned that she had bought a carding drum and had been working on it, and that she had then washed all of the fiber, and she dyed it using Easter egg dye. And then she had it drying by hanging out. She was drying in a salad spinner, which I have heard dyers use before. She was using a salad spinner to dry it, to get all the water out of it. And then she was hanging it on trees. And I had to laugh when I was picturing that, because I thought, oh, some people have fruit trees. Yoka has yarn trees. I think I would like yarn trees in my backyard. I remember when I was a kid, there was this, I don't even remember the brand of spaghetti noodles, but there was a spaghetti noodle commercial, and it showed all these people in these fields, and they were harvesting these spaghetti noodles out of trees. And I just remember as a kid sitting there watching that, and I looked over and my mother was just laughing, because I was like swallowing it hook, line, and sinker. It took me a minute to realize, oh yeah, spaghetti doesn't grow on trees, but yeah, that's what it reminded me of. When she said that she was drying on her trees, I was like, oh, some people have orchards. Some people have yarn orchards. I'd like a yarn orchard. That would work for me. So in the course of all of this, hopefully she'll send us some pictures when she gets it all spun up, because the colors were really pretty, what she's got, what she's come up with her fiber so far. So, in the middle of all this, I was watching another podcaster. Her name is Taylor Owen, and she does a podcast called Thread to Mend. And she lives down in Baltimore, which isn't too far from me. That's down in Maryland. I'm just over the Maryland border in central Pennsylvania, in south central Pennsylvania, in Gettysburg. So she was talking about, she was participating in the Tour de Fleece, and she was getting all her fiber ready, and she does a lot of spinning, which is why I kind of find it interesting to watch her. She does some beautiful knit work. To look at her, she looks like she's about 14, but she's married, so she must be a little older than what I'm thinking. I didn't inherit genes like that, so where I look younger than I really am. But she has a nice little podcast, and she's also running a giveaway. So that would be something to check out. Again, it is Taylor Owen. That's what you want. I'll put it down here. If you check out her podcast, you could enter her giveaway that she's running. And I know there was a drawstring bag involved. There's a project bag, and I don't know what else. But yeah, so it might be one to check out. So we've got to give all of us small podcasters plugs for each other to help out. So go over and check her out. For sales this week, we have Knit Picks is running a sweet summer savings. So if you spend $50, you get $5 off. If you spend $75, you get $10 off. And if you've really got money to burn and you spend $100, you get $20 off, which actually is a pretty good deal if you're up to spending $100. Craftsy has a lot of yarn on sale in their clearance section. So it was kind of too numerous for me to point out, but they've got a lot of stuff going on in their clearance section. Lion Brand Yarns has their top kits, which a kit means you're getting the pattern and the yarn. Some of the kits are up to 50% off. So I've bought kits from Craftsy before. I've never bought them from Lion Brand. But it's pretty cool because they do all the matching with the colors and everything. So anyway, like I said, Lion Brand has some of their top kits up to 15% off. And then there's Annie's. Now, Annie's Craft Shop. And they have a lot of yarn in their clearance. And they are also offering $2 off of one pattern download. So they give you a coupon code, but if you see a pattern on their site that you want, you can put that coupon code in and get $2 off of that pattern. So that was really special. And then Annie's contacted me. And if you remember, just a couple weeks ago, they gave away a free crochet magazine. They offered to do it again. So I'm not sure which edition you're getting, but they are offering a free crochet magazine to the winner of our giveaway. Now, here's what you have to do to be entered into the giveaway. It's going to run for 1 week, so I will be announcing the winner next Saturday. So it'll run from Saturday to Friday night, because I will be filming Friday for Saturday. So it will be ending on the 20th. Now, to enter, all you need to do, go over to Annie's Craft Shop and look at their merchandise. You need to sign up for an account with them. It's free. You just need to put your name and your email in. There's no charge or anything like that. But if you would win, that's where your digital copy of the magazine will come, so you'll need to have an account with them. So set up a free account with Annie's, look at their products, and then leave a comment down below here on what your favorite item was that you saw on their site. So, yeah, go over and check them out. They are really good, and they're very, very nice to work with. They're very fast with getting back to you. And so I'm thinking the customer service is really good. The response time is really good. So check out Annie's. The links to all of these, to Annie's, to Knit Picks, to Knit Crate, to Craftsy, Lion Brand, all of them are down below. If you just click in that description box under the show more, it will drop open and then you can see everything, and click on those links. It'll take you right to them. So that is it for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next Saturday when we will announce the winner of our latest giveaway. And the one thing I did forget to tell you all about, those of you who haven't started the Tote Along yet, we do have a prize involved with the Tote Along. I will be drawing a prize from the finished objects, and that finished prize is a skein of hand-dyed yarn from Less Traveled Yarn, and this color, there you go. This color is called Lolita, and it is kind of a tonal pink with some like rosy colors in it, and it's extremely soft. So a winner will be chosen from the finished objects, and again, that runs until August 31st. So that's it for this week, and I hope you have a lovely week. Like I said, don't forget to enter into the giveaway for a free crochet magazine, and I will see you again next Saturday. Thanks again for watching, everybody.